Welcome back. It's day 16.
Day 16. Nearly 2/3 of the way there. Far out.
Well, we have a fantastic interview today.
We do. Lauren from A Girl and Her Wool, who also is today's prize sponsor. So lucky winner got to choose some yarn from her beautiful shop.
And I saw on her Instagram and her website, she's just opened, I think, orders for her 2021 sock clubs. I'm going to have to go check that out. I haven't had time to read all about it yet, but I love her stuff and it's tempting.
Well, she's offering for the next 48 hours an excellent 25% off code.
Oh.
So go check that out. That's in the prize post in my group.
Yeah, and I'll copy that and put the information in the link down below. So I'm going to have to go check that out selfishly for myself. Like, I need any more yarn, right? I don't need any more yarn, but I just love getting mail.
Her yarn is so special too. Obviously, I used it twice for this year's Radvent pattern, so for the Radvent Wrap and the KAL, the green fade version. And I have half of that kit left, so that was green into beautiful purples. So, yeah, I'm wondering what I'll do.
That was called the Fairy Garden something?
Yeah.
I love that. She does some.
That's beautiful. Such good fades. Fun videos too. It was fun watching her do her she did a video where she was dyeing up that particular kit over the week, so she kind of edited the whole process together. That was quite cool.
Yeah, I'll put a link. I'll put a link to her YouTube as well. Yeah, she's a lot of fun to watch. So
yeah, it was great chatting with her.
So we'll have that in a few minutes after we open our packages. You might have to go first.
All right, straight to it. I was ready to grab day 16, but it's actually 17. I've mixed them up here.
Oh.
I was thinking, hang on, what day is it? But it is, in fact, day 16.
I'm interested to see where the sket's going to go.
And the colour of this is Apatite. Another one that is obscure to me, Apatite. Ooh, I have appetite for this.
Interesting. It's really...
Yeah, that's lovely.
Yeah, more of a turquoise, and it had some darker bits in there.
So it almost is in between these two. It does have darker speckles.
Some strands,
Yeah.
Oh, I like that.
It's gorgeous.
We like the greens, don't we?
Gee, so that goes here.
Interesting.
So that makes that blue from yesterday quite a little pop in between these two shades. That's fun. I like it.
Okay, well, I did get mine down, and it's interesting that Peanuts decided to have a snuggle on today. It's day 16 because there's Peanut on the label. See, with the little ball of yarn and the little curled up kitty. Kind of a lighter mauve than we've had.
Nice.
It looks a little washed out here, but it really does have a dusty rose overtone. It's a little washed out in this lighting. But it is more purpley than tan than what you're seeing here. And the color is called Sedimentary. It's all about the rock.
Yum, that sounds good.
Yeah. Yeah, so I'm very behind with my knitting, but I'll get there. It's okay.
Yeah, I'm just slowly plugging away at my black sweater, divided for sleeves, so
nice.
It's pretty
That's good TV knitting right there. Round and round.
It is good TV knitting, and I did binge watch a series yesterday. I forget what it's called. It was actually on that I don't know if you get it there, a new streaming service called Binge, and I'm just doing the 2-week trial period of that's free. So I'm binging on Binge, and it's a series with Nicole Kidman and Hugh Grant. I can't remember what it's called. It's pretty dark actually, but very moody and beautifully shot, set in New York. Yeah, it's interesting. So I've been binging on that, doing my round and round knitting.
Yeah, well, I'll try to look that up, and if I come across the title, I'll put it in.
I'll have a look for it and send it to you.
Yeah. Yeah, when I edit. So have you finished the whole? Oh, have you finished the whole thing?
I have, yeah, I pretty much did it in a couple of days.
I did that with the Queen's Gambit.
Oh yeah, that was so good.
I watched
Enjoyed
that
that.
in like a day and a half and knit.
Yeah.
Yeah. And now my husband's watching it because he really likes chess. So he's watching it now in the evenings. So
Yeah, I'd happily watch it again.
yeah, I might. I
Yeah.
would notice different things the second time,
I know when I'm knitting, even though it's TB knitting, I still don't see everything because I'm often looking down.
Yeah, true.
Yeah.
All right.
Well, on to our interview with Lauren.
Yeah, it was a lot of fun. Definitely.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'll see you tomorrow.
See you tomorrow.
Project. Welcome. And here we have Lauren from A Girl in Her Wool.
Yes.
She's an independent dyer from the East Coast of the United States. So welcome. It's good to have you both back.
Hello. Thanks for having me.
Wonderful. So Lauren, tell us about your website, A Girl in Her Wool. I love your logo. By the way, I love your logo with your little yarn skein with the pigtails. That's fantastic. That's creative. I like that a lot.
Yeah, so my husband is really creative. So we were kind of talking about this with my intro. So he created the intro on my YouTube channel. He also designed the logo. So he just sketched out we kind of talked about some different things that I wanted for the logo. And then he did some sketches, and then, I gave my feedback to him and we went back and forth, but he's so creative. So I'm lucky to have him to do like that side of things, because I can't come up with a logo or anything. So yeah.
I paid somebody to do mine.
There you go. So
yeah, you too. Yeah. But it's good. It's good to have that influence and have people that from all sides that can help you. And that's why this collaboration is so much fun, is because I don't dye yarn. I don't design patterns. I just knit things and make videos. So that's why it's so much fun to have talented people, to just all collaborate. It's been a lot of fun. So your shop is relatively new, I noticed. Just for the last year or so, year and a half or so, right?
Yeah, I opened up in May 2019. I actually opened up the shop on my birthday. So it's really nice. I celebrate my birthday. A Girl in Her Wool celebrates the shop's birthday. So, important things always seem to happen on my birthday. So that's awesome. But yeah, I've been doing this for a year and a half. And things really kind of got busy and everything earlier this year. I think with everyone staying home during the pandemic, and a lot of people, I think, were picking up new hobbies like knitting. And so it's just been a really great year. And, it's so busy, but never once thought twice about it. It's just so much fun. It's such a creative thing to do. And like you said, these collaborations and the community is just so nice. And one of the things I really wanted to do was meet more people in the community. And I feel like that's happening. It's just, we get to make so many friends over the internet and around the world. And I don't know, it's just been great.
Yeah. Well, how did the two of you meet up?
I think I was scrolling through Etsy. I love looking for yarn on Etsy, and Lauren's popped up a few times. They just caught my eye. So I'd been thinking, I had it at the back of my mind for a little while, and then I was looking for a kit to design one of this year's patterns, and I can't remember exactly, but anyway, I saw that she had these beautiful gradients, a rose gold gradient and another one.
Mm-hmm.
And I asked her if she'd be willing to expand, I think it was a 10 colour set into a 24 colour set, which these are both the result of that request. She obliged kindly and created beautiful 24 colour sets.
Yeah, I remember thinking to myself, why not? Probably can. So let me just go for it and try it out. And it worked well. They really came out nice. So
that's fantastic. Did you know of Ambah and her patterns before she contacted you?
Absolutely. I've been following.
So you were probably like, oh,
yes, very
totally.
much so. I was very excited, very grateful. It's been fun. The patterns are beautiful.
I felt like that when the first time I contacted you when we did the Anara wrap knit along here, and I thought, okay, I'm going to send her a Ravelry message. I mean, she's a big designer. Maybe she'll email, maybe she'll see it, maybe she'll respond, maybe she won't. I mean, you never know. And then when you wrote me back, I was like, oh, she answered me. I was all excited about it. And then again, when we did the second knit along with the Lavelle, I kind of felt the same way. I was super excited when you answered me back. It was just lovely. It's so much fun that, and I found that over and over, time and time again in the knitting community, is everybody's really open, no matter how successful, no matter how well known people are. People are very open and willing to help and just generous. And I so appreciate that. I mean, because it helps everybody else build their business, and there's plenty of room on the internet for everybody, you know, really.
Yeah.
I think it's fantastic. So you started, but have you knitted a long time? Like, what got you into the dyeing part of it?
So I've been knitting, so I've been crafty, I think, since, you know, I was a little kid. I kind of knit a little bit in high school. So one of my friends was into it and she kind of taught me. And then just a few years ago, I think maybe 7-ish years ago, I really started listening to knitting podcasts, like kind of found the knitting community. And so I was reading blogs, listening to podcasts, watching YouTube videos. And I think because of that, it made me so confident in knitting, even though I didn't knit so much. It was like, oh, I can knit a sweater because like I just listened to people knitting sweaters. So that's normal. And so I kind of just like took off with it. And I feel like once you start knitting with indie dyed yarn, you get hooked on it. And then, like I said, I just really wanted to find a way to be more a part of the community. And I tried dyeing and I loved it. And again, I just haven't looked back since.
Did you start dyeing with like Kool-Aid? And
no, I just jumped right in. I bought Knit Picks has a lot of undyed yarn. So I bought yarn from them because that's like kind of more affordable and you can buy smaller bits of it.
So you just jumped right in. And Knit Picks for a while had like a beginner dye your own. I mean, I think it came with the dye and stuff. And
Yeah, and I think that's what I got. I just got like a starter kit of little dyes and some yarn. Yeah, and started with that.
That's awesome. So now, though, how long did it take you before you were like, oh, I love this, I'm gonna do it?
I don't know, a month maybe. Not that long. It really wasn't that long. Yeah. It was pretty quick.
Amazing.
Yeah,
that's really cool.
Were you creative with color before dyeing? Because the way you use color is so beautiful. Is it something that you've just discovered through dyeing, or were you into painting and other ways of using color before that?
Not really. I really never thought of myself as an artsy person. The closest I can think of is when I was in school, like in art, I just loved learning about color theory. So I have a mathematical background. That's what I do for a living and everything. But color theory is so mathy, right? Like the way you combine colors and everything. And so I think, you know, there are rules with color theory. If you combine this with this, you get that. And so I think that's why I always took to that in a way. But no, never. I can't draw. I'm not good at painting or anything. So it just really comes out, I guess, through the love of yarn and dyeing.
Yeah, it's chemistry though. And knitting is about math. You know, knitting is very logical and math oriented as well. And so I can see that connection totally because it's chemistry.
Right.
That, you know, combining how many grams of this and how many grams of that and you get this. Right.
Yeah.
That's fantastic.
Yeah.
So I want to tell viewers that all of your links to your social media will be in the video description down below because you have your Etsy store. You're very active on Instagram. You have great yarny photos. And then you also have a YouTube channel and a blog, right? So we'll put the links to all the things down below. But I wanted to point out that there's some uniqueness about the way that you sell your skeins. So do you know what I mean when I'm asking you that? I'm putting you on the spot, I know. But there you have a unique feature to your shop and how you can order what you need. And so if you would explain that, that'd be great.
Yeah, so I sell my yarn in any size skein. So kind of the industry standard is we buy 100-gram skeins, and that really matters, you know, regardless of what you're going to make, you buy in 100-gram skein. And for me, I wanted to be able to offer some flexibility. So if you wanted to make a multicolored shawl, you didn't have to buy large skeins of everything to use up a little bit of one. Or you want to make these great gradient patterns, you can make them with smaller skeins. And so I actually sell my yarn from 5 grams up to 300 grams. So it goes from like those small skeins. But then again, if you want to knit a sweater and you don't want a million ends, but you want to just alternate 2 skeins the whole way, you could buy larger skeins and just do that. So I think, again, that's like a mathy thing too, is like, I'm just, you know, thinking about it that way. So, yeah. I
have a question though, real quick.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, if I wanted to buy a 300 gram skein, it's not as if I'm understanding you correctly, it's not like you've taken 3 100 gram skeins and just tied them together for me.
No.
I mean, there's not going to be joins in opportune places. Is that correct?
Right. It's one continuous strand of yarn that is, you know, 300
that's
grams.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow. I didn't know that. I mean, I've seen that on your Etsy store, but now I get it better.
Yeah.
Wow. And I love that the cowl tell us about the cowl that Ambah's, tell us about that.
So with this one, I wanted to design a DK weight pattern for part of the Advent patterns that people can choose from. And I had 2 sets from Lauren, one that I'd used for this and another one. This is half of the set. It fades into a purple and it's so beautiful. But I decided just to use the green part of it, and it was fingering weight. So I held it doubled to make it equivalent of DK weight. So it's written for DK weight, but I used fingering weight held together. And I just wanted to emphasize a beautiful fade. It's a really simple design. I'll take it off and show you. So it's knit flat, and then it's joined down the center to make it into the cowl, and it's worked on with bias shaping, so it's knit this way, and then I used I-cord to join it and also to edge it. So the 12th color is actually the I-cord section, and so each like Lauren's set just fades so beautifully. Each section is fairly uniform, so it could be knit in multicolours and get a stripe version of this shawl. So there's like a quite different look that you can achieve with the same pattern. And I chose to hold a strand of kid silk mohair with this too. It's just so cosy and squishy, but that's just an optional thing to do. So yeah, that's the back.
I can't help wanting to make it because it's so cold and windy here in the winter that it would just be great around. And then the shape of that helps keep the snow and the wind out from where your zipper goes up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's so easy to wear, a bit easier than trying to manage a shawl when you want to have something fast. It's so cozy.
And I'm not very good at winding. I mean, obviously I'm not good at that.
Yeah, cowls are so
You would be able to make it from the leftovers. You'd be able to make it from the leftovers of the, what are you making? Yeah, you probably have enough leftovers from the throw to make a fade version with your little leftovers.
Maybe, or maybe I want to buy some more.
Well, there's always that.
I might. We'll see. I do not have a birthday coming up, but I don't feel like I have to justify it. I don't have to justify my yarn purchases to anyone.
No.
No. Oh, that's fantastic. Well, do you have anything else you want to add, Ambah? Do you have anything else I know that you've shown this before, but I think you should show the fade, the rose to gold, just because that's from her store. And I know you showed that the other day, but I'm not sure. Well, you can show us again, and I'm not sure where this video will come in the scheme of things.
We might put the photo of the fade as well, Lauren's full photo. But yeah,
Well,
it's a little bit.
Yeah, that's lovely.
So this one, Radvent Wrap, is knit from the centre out. So I started with the rose and worked my way out to the gold section.
I mean, I know that I'm stuck in a rut right now, but I just love a good fade. I just love the gradient. It just makes me so happy. That's all I want to do is knit little fade sets. I just love that so much.
Nothing wrong with that. I love
No,
fades.
I don't think I'll get over it anytime soon.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So do you have anything that you can tell us about for 2021, Lauren? Are you planning some new colour palettes?
Yeah, so for 2021, I actually will be launching some new clubs. So I like to do Yarn of the Month clubs. And so starting in January, I'm actually going to start doing a mini skein set club. So you'll get 5 mini skeins each month, and they'll have a theme about them. So they'll kind of be related to each other. And then I'm also going to do, I think, a rainbow club. So all the yarns will be like somehow rainbow-y. So I'm really excited for that. I think that'll be a lot of fun. So those are kind of right now my ideas, but yeah, there'll always be new colors and new things to be looking forward to. I can't stop like trying new colors and everything. So
I have a question about your minis. When you say the mini skein thing, because I'm like, oh, I like that idea. The mini skein, if there's 5 in a set and that comes to me, what would be the yardage of that?
So you get to choose. So that's
of course I do.
Yeah, so I call them mini skein sets, but of course you can choose them what you want. So it could be 10 grams each, 20 grams each, and we'll see how much I allow it to go up. But typically my mini skein sets, I do allow them to go up to 100 grams each. So it really isn't necessarily a true mini skein set, but yeah, it could be anything you want.
Okay,
Yeah.
I love that
Lots
idea.
to think about.
Yeah, and you're always available for questions. People can contact you through your various social medias, and
Yeah.
that's great. Thanks for joining us.
Yeah, thanks so much for having me. This was great. It was great to chat and get ready for Advent season.
Yeah, thanks, Lauren. It was pretty exciting to hear about your mathematical approach to dyeing, and it's certainly effective. It's what you create is beautiful.
Thank you so much. It means a lot. It really does.
It is, and I think you are artistic. I think you really are, because if you're taking, I noticed on one of your videos you were talking about your yarn clubs, where you take a photo and that's your inspiration and then you do that. And I know that's common for dyers to do, but I can't do that. I mean, I think that's totally artistic. So you're an artist. You can just claim that for yourself.
Thank you.
Sure.
I will take that.
All right. All right. Bye. Thanks so much.
All right. Thanks.